This is the Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski.
Featuring defense attorney, Hidden Killers daily contributor, and host of the Defense Diaries podcast, Bob Motta.
Chad and Lori Daybell both making their own respective appearances in court this last week as they both prepare for trials in the upcoming months, maybe years, depending how long it all takes. Let's start by talking about the appearance of Lori Vallow Daybell in court this last week. Joining me to discuss, attorney Bob Motta, host of the podcast Defense Diaries. Go and download that. My goodness, Lori Vallow in court this last week. Not, I guess, what I was expecting, but I don't know whatever to expect from Lori Vallow. But she walked in as if she was the queen of the prom and to fanfare, blowing there's just need to be a fan, like blowing wind at her. That's really what it was like. What was your take on Lori's demeanor as she wandered into that courtroom for that hearing that's getting ready as they get ready for trial?
She's a psychopath. She's a total psychopath. Yeah. The woman has lost her mind completely. She comes up all gussied up, just laughing it up. She's out of her mind. It's like, I don't know where she gets lipstick, I guess through commissary.
Yeah.
Got her hair did. Smiling and laughing as she's walking through the without a care in the world.
Yeah.
She knows. Remember, end of days is coming this next month. So she's ready, T. She's ready. She's ready. Like she's saved. Remember that. She's one of the 100. So she's good to go. She was acting like that's coming. She was really happy about it.
I really wonder what's going to happen when it doesn't come, if we're going to see a different demeanor to Lori Vallow Daybell, or is it just going to be kind of one of those, oops, we were off on days. It's coming up next year.
Yeah, you know what? We'll find out at her trial.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we'll know at her trial if she, and the thing is about Arizona, is all those folks that want that eye for an eye type punishment, the death penalty. Mm-hmm. It's available there. And I'm sure that, Idaho would be happy to say, yeah, go ahead, take her.
Yeah.
If she's going to get the death penalty out there in Arizona, we'll find out, we will certainly see her demeanor at trial, and we'll also see whether or not at that point, if and when the end of days does not occur, which I'm assuming that it will not, that, if she decides, by advice of counsel to go for some kind of insanity plea, because she's crazy as a shithouse rat, man.
It was, watching her, I was waiting her to try and make out with her attorney, Keith Terry, for a moment there. She was giving him the eyes. She was leaning in. We couldn't see his response at all. I can only imagine it might have been a look of horror, but yeah, I can't imagine trying to advise her on what to do. If you're the attorney for Lori Vallow at this point, what are you saying to her?
Well, the first thing I'm doing is I'm calling her counsel that handled it in Idaho and saying, all right, you dealt with this woman leading into that case. What were you able to get from her in terms of feedback, in terms of assisting in her own defense? And, as we know, she was blocking her defense out there from taking the strategies that they would have otherwise probably employed out there. So I would have sought advice from them in terms of how she was acting then, and then compare it to how she's acting now, and listening to her, and getting her rationale behind things, behind her decisions, and ultimately, the strategy part of it's supposed to be left to counsel. There's fundamental things that are left within the defendant's sole decision making, and there's things that are left to the attorney in terms of trial strategy. And but if you've got a client that is adamant, says there's no way. I'm not agreeing to you employing an insanity defense or some kind of mental defect defense, you're stuck, because if the client's not going to assist you in moving forward with that, then, it's not going to work. And in this case, like I'd be taking a wait and see approach.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we all know, and I've said it. I said it when I was covering this case in our podcast, and we covered that trial extensively. And, you know, it was always my opinion that she believed everything that she was preaching. Like to her, it was real.
Yeah.
Which to me, like, I think that she's deeply mentally ill. I really do. You know, and I think that the things that she believes are true to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, she doesn't care what the rest of the world thinks. You know, she thinks that she speaks to the higher ups up there, and that they've given her the good word, and she knows what's happening, and you know that's it. You know, and it'll be interesting because by that time, her beau there, Chad Daybell, they're searching. They're searching. He'll have had his trial, and we'll know what his fate is.
Yeah, it makes me wonder: are we going to see kind of a different approach here? Because we already did see a statement several months ago, basically blaming Lori for everything, but then that all kind of calmed down. We didn't really hear that argument again, so I do wonder if they're still operating with that strategy, and if in fact it is employed. I wonder, will we see Lori kind of change her ways up a little bit too? If her beau is turned the page and says, no, this ain't true anymore, you're crazy. Maybe I kind of made you crazy. Is she going to walk that back? I'm wondering if she's even capable of walking it back. I don't think that she is. I always had her pegged as the puppet master, not Chad. Yeah.
Chad's a moron. Chad's a goofball. You know, like she was actively looking for a dude like Chad because she needed a partner like that. But like, no one is convincing me that Lori Vallow was not running that game.
Yeah,
because she was. So like she was running the game. Chad was her you know, trained monkey, like, you know, the old Italian guys with the little music. But I mean, he was like, she took whatever he had written and whatever kind of philosophies he had kind of crafted, and she co-opted them and made them her own. And you know, I mean, she just ran with it.
Yeah.
And you know, he was maybe the front man, but she was running the game. Yeah. Like, I have zero doubt about that. So, and I have zero doubt that that's what his defense is going to be. Another Svengali type defense that this woman had me like wrapped around her finger, you know, and she used everything in her power, sex, you know, in terms of like just getting me to do her bidding, and she had me under her control, you know, and that's all I can say. And, you know, so I fully intend on that being a part of the defense. In terms of, you know, I again, you know, I haven't seen anything with respect to the only mental defect defense you have out there is saying that, you know, that he had a mental defect that would not allow him to form the requisite intent, you know, which again, if he were to try to go in and say, look, like, she had me under her control, and I believed everything that she was saying, and we were feeding off each other, and I believed the kids were demons. I didn't even believe they were kids, you know. And if you can carve that out of, you know, the homicide statute, because part of the homicide statute is that you have to be ending the life of a human being. If you can get physicians, psychologists, psychiatrists to testify that, you know, he honestly did not believe them to be humans anymore, you know, maybe prevail on that, but we all know that's never happened.
I can't see a jury ever. I mean, I can, from a psychological standpoint, I can understand how one could get that crazy and maybe truly believe that, but I don't think you will ever convince a jury of that. Way. No matter what.
Zero chance. He's going downtown to Chinatown, man. He's done.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.